All right, everybody, welcome and to this little webinar I'm doing. This is MarcHavFX. Check out the website. There's no subscriptions yet. I'm still thinking about it, but you can always go and check the charts. They're usually updated hourly in the 4 hours, um, daily, weekly, and the monthly. So much. Right. One thing I have to mention, make sure that, for instance, in Chrome, you install an extension. It's called Clear Cache, because otherwise you won't see the updates of the charts. So, all right, let's start with the Euro USD. Normally, I always go monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hours, 1 hour. I can't do that right now, but let's do it for the euro. And with the other pairs, we'll just look at the 4 hours in the hourly chart. So see this massive, call it a pitchfork. It's not really a pitchfork. It's actually just parallels from those here, and they're all, well, I made this chart in September 16th, so that's where the parallels come from. But it's been pretty much spot on, except here, of course, in January, February, March with COVID and everything. So it really, because it should have gone up from here, in my opinion. So the COVID happened, and we're slowly going up. So if you zoom in a little bit, we've been going up for 3 months, right? That is an indication that something is going on with the euro, because if we close out this month positive, that's 3 months. We could be in a sequel of this one. So that's all wishful thinking. Let's go. Let's go to a weekly. Let me. The weekly chart, you probably saw me posting this already. It's like a cycle, highs, 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 and we got a low. Then normally the next cycle should have been a high here, but we didn't. So we just made a higher low. Sorry. So, my opinion, we're turning here. Would call this a really massive head and shoulders inverted. Sorry, this is the head, these are the shoulders, and that would bring us back to where Draghi said we'll do whatever it takes, which is at 140. Anyway, like I said, wishful thinking. Let's go to a daily, and the daily. So we've got trend lines coming from, it doesn't even fit on the screen. So it's coming from August 08, 2011. We broke out a little bit here. Two trend lines going on. Guess where we are? We are at the first trend line trying to break through it. Now we got the second one. Then we've got the 4-hour chart. Here it becomes a little bit more interesting, and this is, wave 1, wave 2, then that was wave 3, and this is wave 4, then we're still in wave 5, and we need to get above Anyway, we still need 5. So 5, and it's measured move to 161. Then we're at 114.76. These 5 waves, keep that in mind because that will come back with basically all the pairs, all the dollar pairs. Let's go to an hourly chart. Got a trend line here. Broke it Thursday, but then it could have been a retest of this trend line going down here. There's a confluence between fibs here, which is normally a good indication. So 114.70s is going to be important if we get there, and I think we will. But okay, so let's go to. Well, I'll follow the same order that I have here. So let's go to dollar yen. 4-hour chart. Yeah, this is, parallels from the highs here, and then this is the same parallel. Got a pitchfork here, which actually matched up well. Upper parallel, it was resistance here and resistance here, and then normally we should reach the median line at some point. Also, if we get we need a new low, then I would imagine that we would get to line at this point, especially because this is support in my opinion. From that's where it stopped. The rebound down again should be the first. That would actually match up well. What's going to happen afterwards is, and I think I've got that in the hourly chart, what I'm thinking. So basically the same setup. The fork is drawn differently here. Don't mind that. Got this purple line, which was resistance, 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 resistance. Then it broke through it. Then it broke through it. And then it was resistance again, support, support, broke through it. Actually, whenever we get there, it should be resistance. We're first going down, then up, and if this is not resistance, then it should be around here, and then we go down for one more time. One is dollar CAD, and I actually don't play dollar CAD very often, and I should, because just looked at this chart and this fork, and this is just like a dream, right? Upper parallel, resistance, resistance, goes to the median line, goes through it, and then the lower parallel is support. It goes back to the median line, goes back here, doesn't even reach the upper parallel. Maybe it will be here. So we could be going up a little bit more, then it should be resistance, and then we continue down again towards the median line. That's the simplest thing you can say about forks. It's upper, lower, and median line, which is important. Here, if we do fib extension. So whenever we get, if we get to a higher high here, it will be a little bit higher, but maybe we're already going down. Targets would be 34.61, 356. Okay, we got more participants. Hi, everyone. Yeah. So I'm recording this and I'll post it. Okay, that was dollar CAD on the 4 hour, and let's look at dollar CAD on the hourly. Again, different fork here. This fork is also not bad. Not as clean as the other one, so, but in this case, resistance, 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 and are we trying to break through it here, or are we going to go down from here? It's a bit iffy. I would say, you know, if we go below 35.20, yeah, then you know it's going down, because I'm definitely thinking dollar weakness. I'll explain why later if we look at the SPX and stuff. All right, so that was dollar CAD. Then we've got the pound cable. So what did I do here? Oh yeah, right. There's not really a nice fork that I can draw from here, so I've got it more on a. I kind of like this that stopped at the 25 line 2 times. Now it could be that we're going back to the median line around 595 or so. But the idea is that we still need to go higher. Thinking 27.20, well, let's say 26.90 to 27.20. That would be my next guess. Obviously, the pound in the next few days and weeks will be hit back and forth by negotiations that are going on with Brexit, so could get very volatile. Quick look at the hourly. It's in an uptrend. What can I say? You know, I mean, as long as we don't break the median line, we don't lose the 100 moving average. There is no reason to be short. Only long positions. And again, here 720, really defined level here. So that's why I picked it. It's a bit above the 78.6 Fibonacci retracement. So yeah, if we look at, you know, it could be 1, 2, 3 ended here, and then that's 4. That would fit perfectly with 27.20 as a target. All right, then we've got the Aussie. Here I thought we would do some training kind of. I started the fork here because, you know, those are those spikes, and that just skews the results. But if I start a fork here, if fork, pretty good. You know, I mean, resistance here, the median line, broke through it, trading around it. It was resistance here, Um, and in this case, also, if we say, let's draw some. Hmm. Okay, here. Sorry. Let's say this is 2. That's 3. That's 4. So we still need to get a fifth one, right? And so all this could be wave 5 still. And we need to get above wave 3. Ozzy's case, I think 72. Good number. So let's put a fib extension on it, and then hit for the 200. So we could get above the 200, or at least 71. So we still need one more wave up. So as long as we are above the end of wave 4, go down, but we still would be one big flat. Yeah, upstairs. Yeah. Okay, let's look at the hourly. As you can see, it's the same thing. You started drawing sliding parallels because here it went out of the fork, and then the next time it went there, that was support. So drawing these sliding parallels and keeping them could potentially give you a clue in the future where support should be, will be. So we went up here and it tried to keep that sliding parallel going. It didn't, so there was a second one that I drew. Was support here, and then we're losing it again, but it's because we've been going sideways, like since the same thing, kind of with the kiwi. Don't look at this fork. That was too steep, by the way. So that never works. Worked for a long time, but it's yeah. Here, if we think of the Aussie, and that was wave 3, that's 4. Kiwi has already broken it, so Kiwi is still on its way to the upside. But it was like, yeah, look at the horizontal level, and if we look at a weekly chart, no way. At a weekly chart for the Kiwi is very interesting. We've got this trend line from 2014. Here, resistance, 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 and now we're trying to break through it. And if you look at the RSI signature, it is trying. So we probably can get through. And another reason is you look at weekly charts of all the dollar pairs. Like in this case, we've got the 156 weekly moving average, right? That's the red line. I think it's going to go there. We look at the Aussie. Same thing. Aiming for the 156 weekly moving average. If we look at the pound, we're aiming for, because we're already at the yearly moving average, the 52 week, for that one. We look at dollar yen. Here it becomes interesting. Dollar yen, has always been trading around that red moving average, and it's rejecting it. So it has already rejected it, is on its way down. Because, it's inverse. It's dollar yen, it's not dollar, right? And if you look at the Swissy, it also rejected it. So maybe these two are already front running the dollar weakness that we can see here, and the Aussie and the Kiwi and the Euro and the Pound and the dollar CAD, for instance, are still catching up. As dollar CAD, look, go down. So if they're playing catch up, then you know what to do, because maybe dollar yen and dollar Swiss have been the canary in the coal mine, right? Then if we look at the SPX, parallels, right? It's such an amazing thing, because once you define two parallels, this is all tradable. Obviously, it's not tradable with a stop of 5 points, right? But it falls through the first or a parallel, then you know where to look for support. Here it was resistance, right? And here it's support. Resistance, broke through it to the next one, which you already defined from here, right? Never going to go through on the first time, not on the second time, not on the third time, but the fourth time it went through it, retested, and it was, at some point you could potentially think of keeping a position for, this is 2013. Obviously, in circumstances like this, this makes trading, right? Okay, but let's look at Kiwi. Yeah, maybe dollar Swiss, but I really don't think that. Yeah, so I really need to look at it again. How should we draw a fork here? If you're into forks, it's you get an eye for it, kind of how to draw it. But you get my drift, right? If I can get it right, then it's not a bad fork. Just shows you it's a downtrend. This here is like the upper parallel. We need to go to the median line, so still downside, and so on and so on. I just got horizontal levels. Okay. Let's look at silver. Same thing. Initial work I had was very, very steep, so fell out of it kind of, but then it kept going. And remember all the 5 waves up, right? The same thing here in all dollar pairs. 1, 2, 3, and maybe we are still in 3 with silver and gold. So we haven't even reached the end of 3 yet. We could extract or extend further up to the 200. So that would be 20. There, wave 3 could end, and then we have a pullback, and then we have a 5 which goes. A quick look at the hourly. That was better. That's what I wanted to explain. So the thing is, if a move like this happens for such a long time, it doesn't fit on my screen anymore. And there we have, you know, better calculated. If this is 1 and 2, then the 200 is 1975. That would be the first target. And we have the sliding parallel again here, which proved to be very, very good as support. 1, 2, 3 times, and up we go. Still above the. Okay. Then I'm pretty sure Tarek wants to see oil. I don't know if where's my chat? Are there any questions? Because we're at 6:30, right? Very good on time. So if you have questions, just put them in the chat. And let me go on mute for 1 second because I need to have a drink. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So let's I don't do oil on 4 hours or hourly. Oh. Well, let's go to a monthly, and while we are on the phone. All right. And nobody expected that. This. I try to use as much as possible the standard pitchfork, but sometimes I use GIF or advanced GIF. It's cleaner to use the standard pitchfork. But sometimes it's not possible. And then sometimes you find a shift and you say, wow. The most important thing is upper and lower parallels in the median line. If there's support resistance around those lines, that's what you're looking for. And the more, the better. The more price stops or goes to one of these levels, the more confidence you can have for the future that Pitchfork is valid. Okay, so I thought, hey, yeah, oil is going to go down to 10, 12 bucks, and then it went to. Anyway, what do I think? We'll go to a weekly. There's going to be a really good opportunity in oil, but not yet. So actually here, I think we're going up a little bit more. Not all the way back up to 46, 47, but a little bit before that. So it's basically, if we forget about the spikes of 42 to 44 approximately, that's where I think we're going to do a turn. Then we go back to like 7 right here. 26, 27. Past this, then we're on our way up. So I'll be on the lookout for 27, 726 to get into oil. For triple. Let's look at the daily chart. Haven't done anything here either. About the same thing, right? 7, we're along. Yeah, then natural gas. I don't know. Are you playing that? I don't think so. And gas is probably missed it already. This would have been a really good opportunity. All right. What else? Yeah, the most important thing I wanted to say is with those 5 waves in all dollar pairs and the 3-year moving average on the weeklies. That's something that sticks out. And then let's look. What I wanted to show is the SPX 500, right? So on Friday, that was really, really weird. During the day, it was going up and down and up and down, and everybody was like, "Okay, now it's going to fall. Okay, now it's going to go high," and everybody was slapped around all day, and then all of a sudden, it started going up, and it didn't stop till 11 o'clock European time on Friday at the close. And where are we? Look at this trend line, right? So usually when does this kind of thing, this could be an indication that we're gapping up. I don't know what the reason would be, but um, that was a really weird move. And SPX going up or indices going up, and with the inverse correlation with the DXY was just sitting there, and euro was just sitting there, and pound was just sitting there, moving 3-4 pips up and down all the time, and in the meanwhile, SPX kept going up. So something is up. If we gap up, try to get back in on the retest of this trend line. We gap up, it'll probably be to the median line, like 3,206 in this case, or 3,200, which was what everybody was thinking. Yeah, it's 3,200. That's the level to beat. And usually when this happens, but don't have the crystal ball, but could be gap up on Sunday night. Okay. Well, that was it from me. There's another session where we can just talk about whatever trading questions you have. There's not too many people, which I don't think so, because there's only 5 now. Then with by microphone. If you don't want to do that, then yeah, I wish you a very nice Saturday night, and have fun trading next week. All right. Bye, everyone.